Okay, let's get back in it. Take two, no three. Uh, so I left off. Uh, uh, Speaking about Lena Horne and the Marilyn Monroe comparison and what Marilyn Monroe was was held up as the standard of beauty, and at one point in time, and Dorian was saying how when he was coming up, black guys were black people, black stars were stigmatized, right? And everybody wanted to look like Marilyn Monroe. Like I said, that I might have mentioned this in the last video, but I'll take it back. But that took me back to what I was saying yesterday about why one of the reasons why Kiki Shepard was so much of an important factor, whether we knew it or not, or whether anybody else was. I never really heard nobody, because these things don't usually come out until after people pass or whatnot. So I don't think I ever heard nobody say this. I personally haven't, but I would imagine that there is a element of dark-skinned women in the world who, if you asked them about Kiki Shepard, they would say she helped them cultivate or garner a certain level of self-esteem in a world where you have phrases like African booty scratcher and all the "you so black" jokes and how pretty much which dates all the way back to slavery, how the lighter skinned black people were placed on a pedestal, whether it be socially or in the entertainment eye and all that entertainment world, was always placed at a higher level of beauty or higher standard or higher level than all right, but yeah, but yeah, she had to have helped at the pause for the cause, which I'm willing to bet if she if you was to ask a bunch of dark skinned girls that grew up at that time, grew up in back in the game or whatever, you probably get a lot of people that would say that, because like I said, she was hands down. When you thought of Kiki Shepard, you just knew what it was. I'm trying to think of somebody that you compare it to today, but when you see the spirit in which he was saying that, you can tell that although he may not have been saying, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud," he was trying to convey the message that he was trying to shine a little light on something that not only was going on when he grew up, but at the time it was filming was still a thing or whatever. like I said, me personally, uh, not even take it to the, bring it back to the city. Um, uh, Now, there's one thing I will say about H-Time that I don't, uh, um, at least not off the top of the head, I can, no pun intended, but seriously, no pun intended. But at least not off the top of the head. One thing I can say about us, not saying that we down black dark skinned girls, or if you come to Houston, you're not well. No, that's not what I'm saying. But one thing I can say about Houston, which you would see via, via our music, is we didn't down dark skinned girls, but when you listen to like even like a lot of screw tapes and just and I say screw tape because that's really where you get a lot of screw tapes or just the culture that we came up in. Because one thing about SUC, and one thing I can say about growing up in that era was we were lucky to grow up in that era because we got to actually see a culture. We actually get to see everybody, at least on the south side, and then it spread a little to the north. They always had their own thing as well, but you can see a whole cultural shift. You can see everybody go from talk. Everybody start, man, you know what I'm saying? It's going down, and you keep it clear, and well. But one thing you'll see a lot of screwed up culture here is y'all up on someone with some damn braces. We put like, fly yellow on. You hear a lot of that. You don't really hear nobody saying, I'm coming down with a bad, thick, dark one. But you hear yellow. Not because we didn't fuck with dark skin one, because we did too. But that is some sort of subconscious residual of holding lighter skinned women up. We wasn't doing it consciously, like, you got yellows, fuck the dark skinned women. No, we wasn't doing that, but you would hear it in the music. If you from the city, you know what I'm talking about. If you come from that area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if not, if you just take a crash course in SUCism, or you just come down here and listen to a lot of our stuff that came out in the SUC era, you will hear a lot of that or whatnot. Now, like I said, me personally, I never had a preference. I light to dark, it didn't matter. Shit, a lot of my crushes, schoolhouse crushes, was dark-skinned women as well. My first piece of sex game was dark-skinned with the quintessential African look. So, we ain't gonna, it definitely caught me out of that, but, they're just gonna show you the residual of that. But, yellow bone on my side, sitting sideways. I remember one. I give you one of these. I remember one time I was riding with my gal and shit. With my gal at the time, and I was listening to 8 Ball. That nigga said foreign shit with a badass yellow bitch. And my cat looked at me and was like, you be saying that shit? Because she was yellow. Like, you be saying that shit? And I was like, man, it's just a song, bro. Cool out, you know what I'm saying? But, so, but that is the thing, though. So, I'm just showing you that, how they was shining a light on certain social social constructs via this documentary. But anyway, now that I found this funny too. They had one category where it was they had to dress up like they had the category they had to walk in was street niggas or guys from the street or whatever. So you see these gay fellas put on their best street nigga rendition. The MC says, "Shake the dice and steal the rice." Crazy motherfucker. That boy say, "Shake the dice and steal the rice." So sometimes that's what you gotta do, baby. Shake them dice and steal the rice and get it out. You dig? But shake the dice and steal the rice. That was funny. I thought that was some funny shit right there. Stereotypical, because every street nigga doesn't steal. But I'm one of the bitches. You from the street, you've stolen something before. Like I say, I'm not a nigga robber. I've never was a jacker or whatnot. That ain't my cup of tea. Never really was. But nothing didn't necessarily. I come from that culture. I said that growing up in that culture, the South Side screwed up clique culture. It carried us robbing niggas, other niggas, had a stigma to it. That's one of the reasons. That's why I could say that's one of the things that kept me from going that route within the street. Because when you go in the streets, there's many different roads you can go to. You can end up a fucking jacker, you can end up a D-boy, or whatever. Now they got this scammer shit with whatever the fuck that is. Just credit cards or some shit that you lost with that one. But I'd imagine there's some lot of that going on, because when I first started getting on Instagram and shit, and like just following, when I started made the conscious decision to say, well, let me start trying to network and see what I can do with this music shit. I just started following a lot of just people, random strippers, to just other musicians, even motherfuckers who wasn't big time artists, just motherfuckers that was probably only trying to come up like me, just to, I'm trying to network and connect with all kinds of different people and shit. I'm looking at all these motherfuckers with this brand. I'm like, you see motherfuckers that's from, telephone shit and all that old dumb shit, nigga, all that shit. I'm like, man, and these is, you expect that from the rappers and shit, but then, I'm seeing motherfuckers like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? I'm not hating that. I ain't never been a hater, jealous type nigga, nothing. But it does raise the, it does pique your curiosity, especially when you're in commission and trying to get to that level. Not necessarily to show you I got a fucking stacks of money on my biceps and shit, that's old dumb shit, but you trying to figure out a way to put yourself in a position of where you could see some kind of wealth. So I'm a student of life. I ain't just studying rappers and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? These guys, where's all this money coming from? And he started hearing about old scammers and swiping and, that's that old, not saying that niggas ain't been into that, but I guess that's a sign of nigga evolution, because, when we was coming up, the average nigga from the streets didn't know nothing about no fucking credit cards. And he's not niggas I came around. We selling dope, he's robbing niggas or some shit or some other shit, but credit cards and shit, that ain't, that's kind of, that's, now white folks, that's probably, they been into that shit. We always get the left. They probably didn't move on to some other shit. We always get the leftovers, so that's like some old, now they been in it. First they call that shit probably embezzlement or some shit. Transfers and all that, whatever the fuck. Computer shit and all that. That's Johnny come lately. That's this new generation of niggas who's a little bit more advanced than us. Really, always got some form of evolution. So, and not saying you didn't have that, spectrum niggas who was into that in the past. You always had credit card fraud and check shit and all that or whatever. But I start putting two and two together. I'm hearing all these motherfuckers talking about swiping. And I'm seeing all these motherfuckers talking about bread. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. These niggas getting money money off of fucking scam and shit, bread, fucking swiping credit cards and numbers and every fuck. I don't have a clue. A nigga try to get. I remember a nigga was talking to me about getting. Yeah, I'm like, I'm good, bro. I don't. Yeah, I stick to what I know. You fuck around, give me some shit, and but you know, whatever. But anyway, so we'll move on with that. Now, another thing, why I put this in this is watching everything they do. Well, I put in the notes because that's what he said. I can't remember who it was, but one of the guys was saying that about them being gay, they had to watch everything they do. That's another parallel I saw because now in our world, when you just in the hood or you with your homies or we in our, when I said our world, I mean just regular niggerdom, the nigger kingdom. You know, you can feel relaxed and free to do whatever you want to do. But then, just like how they feel, they have to watch everything they do in the world abroad, the world in general. That's how we are when we go into the work industry or pretty much the work industry. You at home, you pretty much outside of working in the job. You know, you're gonna pretty much be where you choose to be at. Work is more so about the industrial work industry or whatever. You pretty much, you might get a job to take care of yourself, but you may find yourself amongst people who are not familiar with your culture or whatever. As we all may have experienced these type of things before. So, a lot of the times, this is something like, who everybody was talking about. He was talking about actors, black actors. They were talking about somebody in particular, but he was speaking about black actors in general. And he said black people make good actors because oftentimes we always act. We always have to, by society being set up, at least skeletally speak, or by based on some of the words, by us growing up not being in control of nothing as far as the work industry and the world abroad. When we go out into these spaces to make a living, we are often surrounded in a culture that is not of our culture. And a lot of the shit we do, by us being so stereotyped, we have to go in. That's why act other than self to a certain degree, just so we won't be ostracized to the point to where we can't make a buck or whatever. Which is why most of the guys that come from my walk of life, for one, we don't desire corporate positions and shit like that. The suit and tie thing with the briefcase every morning and all this shit. You know, your Starbucks latte and shit. And I'm looking at my stocks here and all that old shit. You know, each his own. Some do, but most people, niggas you see, black people you see that world, see a nigga like me and look at me the same way the white people from that world look at me. That's why I have to look at guys like just mind. There's another thing I want to say too. Just because I speak on people and I may shine light on things that I admire about them for celebrities and shit. And this is not but you know, I have to put them out there and shit like, oh, this is what shit like that. But you know, I don't condone everything motherfuckers do. Just like these niggas, big and said shit. You know, these rapping and said shit that I don't condone. I be like, why the fuck would you say that, man? If I could talk to him, I do communicate with him. But if I could say he was still alive, or I was around him when he was making some of this shit, he was music. If I was his homeboy, Go pick Big up and Big jumping. What's up? Man, chilling, man. What's up, Big? Why the fuck would you say something like that, man? What are you talking about? Yeah, that shit about the, man. Oh, it's just, yeah, I know it ain't to be too serious. These motherfuckers don't get that, man. And who in the fuck put... I love this guy, but I'm just saying certain shit these niggas just said. While I was around, I'm like, don't say that, bro. I even have to tell myself this shit sometimes, not to the degree with these niggas shit. But I'm saying, like, sometimes I be wanting to, let it in. Hey, man, you know how I get you out of here, because niggas be pushing buttons. But yeah, I be having to catch myself like, you know what? Don't say that. But I have to give it to guys like just one thing I can say about Russell Simmons. One thing I liked about him is that he always kept it, despite what niggas may say about him and all this scandal shit going on and he's this and that. We always quick to shine a light on the negative shit. So there's always, sometimes it takes somebody to come from out of the left field and say, well, at least the nigga did this, or that. And that's one thing I can say about him is, at least, one thing I liked about him is he kept it hood. He kept that cap on. I could have twisted that bitch to the side a little bit because I don't like, but that's his preference. But for the life of me, I can't do the cap forward thing. I don't know what it is about me and that goddamn cap forward. I can't do it. My shit gotta be left, right, and or some back to the back. I just can't do that forward cap shit. I don't know what it is. I'd rather not wear a hat. That's why I'm jobs and shit. But I be feeling like a doofus. That just fucks me up. I don't know why. I don't know. But that's what I gotta give him his props on. That nigga, at least he never put that fucking monkey suit on. It ain't nothing wrong with a suit. Let me say it like that. I guess this. I guess since our oppressors are so, because the shit comes from us. Don't get it twisted. The suit coat shit and all that shit comes from us. But I guess they've wore so long, and most of the time when we see these kind of people, and it's almost safe to say, outside of the fucking mafia and stuff, the mob and all that shit, rappers played a big. When rappers started doing it, it kind of made, it kind of made it a little cooler when you can do it or whatever. But like I say, I'm not a real big on suit type of guy. I like that. Like I say, you give me I'm like Pac in America's Most Wanted video. Give me that white long sleeve, maybe some fly suspenders, dog hat, bow tie, black pants and shit. I can work with that. But I can do, I can do a tuxedo. Like one of my niggas had a wedding or something. When I put the tuxedo, I can do it, but I'm not in it. Like I said, I have so much of our memory from who we used to be back when we preferred our clothes. That's why when you get back at ancient Egypt and Africa and shit, you didn't see niggas didn't wear tight shit. Not saying you wouldn't do what you want to do now, but our shit was, so y'all was seeing with kilts on and shit, and loose shit, dashikis and shit. It was always loose, which goes back to thank God it's Friday. Just telling you need to loosen up, to the towel, to the suit coat on, or the suit coat off. We were always, I think that's that part of me that, as well as a lot of us. But that's one thing I can say about him. He never really, not saying he never wore a suit before, but he is one guy who was in an executive type of environment, corporate. He went up into the corporate world, but kept his own identity to a certain degree or whatever. He never, just most of the time you see, it's like he made a conscious decision to say, I'm not putting that shit on like that. And if I do it, it'll be here and there. Most of the time I want my identity. I want when people think of Russell Simmons, I want them to think of me as a fucking not no suit. We even call suit. Even when you hear niggas like them damn suits. Or like when Bobby said, don't get me wrong, I'm really not a suit. That's what he's talking about. Like, we not those guys. They're like the fucking shit in the Matrix. You see what the Smiths and shit had on suits and shit. I think it was time where you may have seen Neo in a minute. I can't remember. That's why you see me all in the suits and shit. It's just, but just simple shit like that alone. When you're a little boy coming up from the hood, I'll give you another. What's that? Go ahead. I'll wait till. I'm gonna wait. I'll do that for next month. But yeah. But he said one of the reasons why we make good actors is because we always acting. When you go into the fucking work world, you have to. Even if you're not going in, hey nigga, what's up? Fuck that, whooping out this shit. You still have to be cautious of a little bit more cautious of how you project yourself, because the smallest thing could be taken for, oh, he's one of those goddamn ignorant niggas that be drinking them 40 ounces and might rob you when the store closed and all this old stupid shit. Shit, I remember this shit here kind of pissed me off. I mean, I was at the fucking bank one time, and I was when I got out my car, I think I was coming to my car. But anyway, I walked. This bitch was black. I walked by the fucking. I bullshit you now, bro. I walked by the fucking car and the bitch locked the door on me, bro. A black woman. I think her thing was parked next to each other. So I came out the bank, and I was finna go to my car. The bitch see me, and I was like, whoa, I'm a black. Now you expect that from you goddamn devils. But I'm like, goddamn, my own people? I said, ain't that a bitch? And I was highly offended. Every bit of white lady, I was like, yeah, whatever. I understand, y'all think of all that ain't shit. But a black girl, young girl too, I was like, wow. But in the area we was in, it wasn't Beverly Hills or no shit, but I guess, well to do or whatever. I guess, but yeah, he was saying that gay people have to watch everything they do. And there's a parallel between that and street niggas, because like I say now, they have a little bit more leniency or whatever, because it's more. Matter of fact, they have it better than us around it, motherfucker, than regular people, really. But at this time, when, like I said, these motherfuckers had the Nazis and shit marching and protesting against them, whatever. That I would imagine being gay was the most comfortable thing in the earlier years, the 80s and the 90s and shit like that. So when he said, so when they had that one category where they had to, which the street nigga shit can be the street nigga category can be all. I think it was two different categories. It was just one just being walking pretending to be a regular straight guy, and then one was being a straight street guy or whatever. But I would imagine that at a time where you had phrases like, you don't even really hear that shit no more coming out. Because motherfuckers don't have to hide it no more. But I would imagine that is that's a hell of a road to walk I guess I don't know how to say it, but I think it's a little bit deeper than, like I say, the street. In the street, now you gonna say niggas street shit. That's making a choice. But I think it's something deeper with these guys. But sort of have something that maybe, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. But I stick with my take on it. But I would imagine it's a harder road to walk when you have some type of innate thing that causes you to exhibit feminine mannerism as a man. And I know women go through the same thing, but it's just a little deeper with me. And like I say, with women, it's different. It's a difference. You know it's a difference because it's when you see studs and board daggers and shit. All they gotta do is dress like niggas, cut their hair, and like his tiny titties back, or whatever the fuck they do, and just talk like niggas. Yeah, nigga, I'm bro, and all this old shit. But you don't necessarily see a manner. Like you just see them. I can't explain it, but with gay dudes, you see a mannerism, like a frailness, or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say frail is the best word I can come up with, but you see a daintiness about them that men don't exude or whatever. So when they're trying to, I guess, walk through life without being detected, that whatever it is in them that causes that daintiness to exhibit or come out, they have to suppress that shit or something, whatever. And like I said, I don't know the feeling. I've never been of that. I've never had that issue. But whatever that shit is you see when they're outwardly loose and flamboyant about it, I would imagine trying to keep that shit hidden would be and walk through life so you can keep that hidden so you can have a job and not be criticized, or keep the niggas from around the corner from beating you up and gay bashing or whatever. I would imagine that would be a hell of a walk. But us ain't is that bad, you just you a street nigga trying to go into the work world. Hey man, just put away the thug nigga antics for right now. Just be normal. That's not hard. But I think what they would have to do is a little bit harder. Whatever. Anyway, pause. But anyway, but that's the thing. The real is trying to come up with this real category. That was the name of the category, if I'm not mistaken. Realness, to get past the untrained eye, or even the trained eye, without them noticing the sexuality thing about it or whatnot. So I ain't gonna spend too much more time harping on that. But and like I said, man, if you hang with gay guys or some shit, that would just talk to the women, because us, we don't. You may find yourself around it. Like I said, I got a homeboy who had his sister's brother was gay, but then I would go over there and we'd kick it, smoking shit, chilling with a partner, whatever. He'd be over there, and we are, I didn't discriminate a nigga. How could you? That's what I'm saying. You get to a point in life where I never would, even if I was a kid, I would, if I'm around, if I go to somebody's house and they got a gay family member, I'm not going to don't touch me, get away from me. I'm going to talk to them normal or some shit. No matter how much shit me and the boys talk over beers and shit, or spoil, sipping drink and shit, or whatever. But that's what made me say, or that's why, you get older, you be like, man, no, like I said, it never really was a big deal anyway. You just, for me, it's just shit in passing. Niggas, whatever, laugh and shit or whatever. But that's made me even more so say, I really don't have no reason to front on them, because it doesn't, but as long as we're not crossing the line, violate my sexual preference, or violate my heterosexuality. I don't. What you doing behind closed doors is your thing or whatever. But I'd go over there and we talk, kick it, and then like he'd be like, "Well, Sam, what you feel about this?" And I'd be like, "I don't talk to these people. Leave me alone, man. That'd be some lame shit." You know what I'm saying? You know, that would yeah, that would be some borderline. That would be damn near equivalent to the white person saying, "Well, I don't talk to niggers because they're black," to a certain degree. So, and I think I spoke on this already. I got a little wild here with this shit. A little chaotic with both sides of the coin, the mother and the son. But I think I was saying, I don't know what the fuck I wrote this down for, but I think I said this because I was saying how it'd be easier for a lot of gay guys probably got kicked out of their house. A lot of gay guys that came from two-parent homes either got kicked out or ran away because I know how fathers could be or men could be if they're not of a certain understanding. They can even get, some dudes get so mad about this shit. You know, they might treat the son a certain way or even try to beat. I'm gonna beat you into liking women and shit. Whole while not knowing if like it's something else going on now, bro. It's just not spanking your kids to make sure they stop skipping school. It's some deeper shit than that, you know. But that's how they look at it. Oh, that's how people who think it's a. That's why I say this. That's how people who look at who feel like it's just a choice. That's the level they can get to. You don't try to step away, try to broaden your mind and say, well, maybe it's something more deeper with the psychology and shit than I'm willing to even stretch my mind and try to. And that's only so far as I'm gonna go with it. But at least I can go as far as to say, well, maybe it's something innate as that's actually deeper than just them making a choice. Now, somebody that father thinks it's just a choice, he's equating this shit to, well, you in the car, I'm gonna beat y'all selling them drugs in the corner with them thugs, or you skipping school, boy, I'm gonna put this lacing on you, and you're gonna stop skipping school. They looking at it like it's some stupid shit like that. I'm gonna put this lacing on you until you stop liking guys or whatever the fuck. Nah. Knowing this is some other shit going on. You beat his ass. He's gonna run him off. He's gonna either run away or fake it till he make it and get out the house, and then you're gonna figure out he's still doing it over there. That devil ain't do shit. Because we always think whooping is a fucking answer to everything. Now, I'm not saying if you think spanking your child, and I heard some shit the other day, I'm gonna speak to it here. If you think that spanking your kid is gonna keep them from becoming gay or keep them from being gay or growing up to be a transgender or some shit like that, you are a fucking idiot, in my opinion. I heard a nigga say that before. He's an idiot. Whoever that guy was. No, I don't want to get too deep into it. He's an idiot, though. Not me can point at the camera like no, that guy's an idiot. That's because don't take it the wrong way. But in order to come out of a certain circumstance, you have to realize you're in a circumstance. And one of our circumstances is stupidity, stupid niggerism. Me included, I'm trying to everybody. So we don't think I'm just I'm an elitist and I'm pulling these niggas down there and I'm up here and I'm the holy one. No, niggas are stupid. We were made that way. Through slavery and shit. we have to realize that a lot of us are so bogged down, we don't even learning new shit ain't even you know, the only thing you into is what you into. And it's like we get a set pattern of shit that we like to do when we're into, and we get locked into that. We are trained to lock ourselves into certain shit and not expand our horizons. As my girl. Oh shit, yeah, flicking like I'm as my girl. Well, she is in the camera, but my boy's like, as my girl here. If you can't spatially expand my horizon, it looks like the scrubs in the horizon. The best fucking part of that song. The rest of that shit was, I got eyes. Niggas had to come back and say shit like, in the passenger side of my homeboy ride with nigga Oriel say, in the passenger side of my ride, my homeboy was, I was letting my homeboy drive or some shit like that. I caught that though. Like, that shit came out again. They dropped. I can't remember what song it was. Was it? I can't remember what that nigga said. I was in the passenger side. My homeboy, some shit, but he said some shit like I was in the passenger side of my own ride, letting my homeboy drive or some shit. That was like a shot. I was like, yeah, tell him, Oriel, because it be like that sometimes. You know, if you were in the passenger, what the fuck they say in that song? In the passenger side of your homeboy, why in the fuck you know I'm just, I done let my homeboy drive a few times. Niggas done wrecked my shit before. I was ready to take a nigga head off. This nigga done wrecked my shit. Then he didn't want to pay for it. He had to hunt a nigga down for the money and shit. I thought I was going to have to up the iron. That's some form of fashion, pause. But, yeah, you know, that's not what we're here for. But, yeah, we, you know, so you always hear people talking about lazy. Niggas ain't sorry, lazy, and all this old shit. But that's always pertaining to physicality shit. Hell, motherfucker don't want to get up and get a job. Oh, he's lazy, they lazy. I think it's damn near worse to be a mental lazy motherfucker than that. Because a mental lazy motherfucker, yeah, you get a job and boom, and you doing all this shit here. But when you don't want to take the time out, that's why a lot of motherfuckers is dead. When I say dead, I mean not conscious. I'm not talking about physically dead, I'm talking about mentally dead. They don't even want to take the shit I'm teaching you right now, or I teach you the mentality I be trying to help you niggas get into. It's hard for some motherfuckers. They don't even want to stretch their mind out to even try to learn some new shit or whatever. And I, not being one of them, as well as you out there who may not be one of them, you want to know how we know that to be true? Because we all have that same thing in certain areas, though. Like, it's certain shit this shit here is different. Like, it's my spirituality. That's why I'm here. That's how I ended up trying out this shit. For spirituality. If nothing else, if it's anything, I'm going to not be lazy too mentally. It's my fucking spiritual salvation. That's why I say once I caught that 10-year bid, after praying to God all this fucking time, I know God, thinking in my mind like an idiot, I know God, they're gonna let me go down for that. I made it, He knows it, He sees it, and then I catch the bid. I'm something right here, buddy. Something's not right here. Let me sit down and let me go back to the table with this spiritual shit, because let me do the due diligence. I don't give a fuck what it takes, but I'm gonna figure it out. That for a minute I was idle. I was just like, I don't know what the fuck spiritual path I'm supposed to be on. It ain't that shit they taught me in that church though. I knew that much. After I caught that bid in between 2004 and 06, when I met my nigga Magnificent, peace to the God. And I hope he's I hope he's wise. I don't know what my nigga is. I wish I could get in touch with these guys. Probably, anyway, boy, those 2 years, I was an atheist. I was an atheist. I know I didn't believe in that bullshit no more. Something ain't right about this dumb shit. And then when I got a clue to what may be the truth, which ended up being the truth, I studied that shit ferociously. Now, if I was a lazy nigga who didn't want to learn no new shit, I'm just gonna sit here and play chess all day. I'm good at rap music and shit. I'm good enough as a rap guy. That's enough for me to know. I'm a rapper. I'm an expert at rap. So, I'm not. Let me get into this shit. So you see what happened? So, but the same way, motherfuckers can be. But I still have to say, there's certain shit like I don't want to be a rocket scientist. So I'm not gonna. Unless something inside me leads me to that, or something says, hey, or for some reason I come to some type of conclusion and say, hey man, you might need to be a rocket scientist. First and foremost, ain't no fucking rockets going nowhere. Before you get to take that shit literally. Rocket scientists. I don't know where the fuck them rockets going, but it ain't the space. Leave that shit. I don't know what they doing. But I'm from the home of the rockets, NASA and all that shit. But I'll tell you straight up. You take your ass out, and that's why these niggas talking about who's that? Bill, one of them fucking white guys. It's one of them niggas. They talking about got a rock. They finna start. I think they already started. You can send it. Buy a trip to space. Don't fall for that dumb shit. Yeah, until you go outside that atmosphere and some physical shit, you're not coming back. And if somebody said they went up and came back, they lied. They didn't go out that fucking spirit. Trust me. That's a whole random. Once you get outside the atmosphere, that invisible dome on the earth, that's a whole other fucking animal. I don't fucking nobody. There ain't no oxygen out there. You seen Total Recall? Matter of fact. See, I love what happened like this. Cause I was debating in my mind, cause this is really like a joke, kind of inside joke, but now I'm not gonna do no fucking Total Recall right now. I might need to go watch it again, cause I'm quite sure I can probably do a creation thing with it, but I don't even feel like fucking with that. As a matter of fact, after I finish with this goddamn TGIF thing, I'm laying off of that with at least movie breakdowns that include, the creation thing with all this shit. I'm taking a break from all this shit. I'm kind of getting, at least with the movie thing. Now, there's other shit that, just mythology outside of movies and shit that this shit pertains to, but as far as the movies and shit, I might go and do the series, all that thing I said I was going to do it, supposed to been do it, because that pertains, I might do that, but that'd probably even be next spring or some shit, but it'll probably be the next time you see me do some shit with this, as far as movies are concerned. So I'm not fucking on, I'm not doing Total Recall, but I'll give you a little drop real quick here. You remember when that nigga Benny was on there? First and foremost, Benny. Now that nigga's from New York too. It is a lot relevant. But Benny is the pioneer, the Ben Stone. Ben, the Benny. When you hear about the Ben Stone and a lot Hebrewism. But the Ben Stone. This is the Ben Stone. This is the Ben, right? This is Benny. The Ben, B-E-N-I, the Benny. So when I say Ben Stone, the Ben Stone. Okay, the Ben Stone. So your man Benny, he was a trader, right? I got 5 kids to feed. But what was he talking about when he said he had 5 kids? What, that he showed his weird hand and shit? Well, this is what he was talking about. The hand. You see this in a lot of mythology too. When Benny said he had 5 kids to feed, that's why I wish I had a better way of recording, because, I'd feel more comfortable with going into areas that might necessarily seem like they're not going talking about shit that may not pertain to the main line topic, but we'll go there real quick. Which this is a total recall. I'm totally recalling how this shit came into fruition, how the universe came into fruition. So that's one thing. But I brought total recall up because when you see the nigga go on Mars, which is not a fucking real planet, but we just pretend. And he took that mask off and wow, got the bulge and he couldn't breathe and shit. That's what's trying to happen to your ass. You go up there fucking with that, trying to go outside of space, outside that fucking dome. Your body was made for this shit, not that. Well, they put melanin on it so you can get up. Bullshit. Try the shit if you want to. Go up there, your ass won't be coming back. If I had to bet a friendly wage, they'd like, well, we went to space. See, they lied to you about the moon. Like, we already know that was some bullshit. You know, that nigga Bobby said, man, how the fuck can you see the curve of the moon? That nigga said, man, you don't even see the curve. Don't flat earthers don't try to take this essence. I told you the earth is flat because there ain't no curves and shit. But, I mean, because you can't see the curve. This shit is so wide. You're not gonna be. If you trying to see the fucking curvature of the earth, or the earth, or this part of the earth where it curves at, they say there's an ice wall out there, some shit. You probably have to go so goddamn. You probably can't even go that fucking far in a boat. You know. But my nigga said, yeah, when he pulled his, I give you two, so you won't think I'm just going out and just talking out the side of my neck. You see the lady with the 3 titties, right, on the movie. When you start doing research in different mythologies, you will hear about 3-breasted women and shit. They get that from mythology. 3 breasts would be pertains to the 3 main spots: 1, 2, 3, or whatnot. So that's where that whole thing comes from. But when you see the Benny with the fucking 5, you see he got 5 kids to feed and he pull his hands out. This is the hand. The 4 arms will go up, like 4 arms to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5. This is the palm. This is the mythology you hear about the claws and shit. The 5, the hands, whatever. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 kids that's being fed are, you got, when this goes up, boom, and it lands right there. This is fed with the light coming up here. All this light feeds this light. That's 1. And then you have the light. When the light comes through the center, it start going to within the circumference. You got light that goes down this path. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the center or bend, the Benny is feeding each one of these is feeding light to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Benny had 5 kids to feed. That's why he kept saying this shit like a whole movie. I got 5 kids to feed, you know. Plus it had the plus that's the stereotype shit. Black people always having a bunch of kids. They gotta struggle to take care of this shit. At least that's what it was in the 90s or whatever. So, I got 5. That's what that was about. So, yeah. Goddamn Benny. Funny what you learn. Fucking around with this conscious shit. But, what we got? Okay, so anyway, let me get back to the topic. But, yeah. I don't know how the fuck we got there. But yeah, I was saying, yeah. So, if you find yourself in that, which as a man, you might say, oh, that's wrong because you're trying to make it seem like there's something wrong being gay, whatever. But I know as a man, I would have a problem with that too. I wouldn't want my son to be. And if he came out, I wouldn't treat him no different. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, once I really, now my son's straight. I've seen this before too in jail. Niggas be straight but want to play gay games, play grab ass with niggas and jump in the shower with niggas. These are straight men though. If you put a call on them, they not like the guys you see in these videos, but you can see the dangerous and shit. That's why I say it's a difference between more niggas that are born gay and niggas that and them niggas just making choices. I'm not talking about that, man, because I had a homeboy who was doing that shit. I knew him from the world, well, kind of know him. I seen him around in the world. We went to school together. Everybody know me, but I never really kicked it up. The only thing I ever really had a conversation with him in the world when I seen him in there playing them games. For one, you from my hood, so you know this shit here means something to me. You throw that west. We went to war behind this shit before. If you want, we went to war, but the niggas we went to war with was not thorough guys. So I don't even like to. I don't want to make you think it was like we was it was more so like a chastising kind of, because these guys wasn't really no street dudes on no level. But these were just regular school guys. But yeah, they was different. You know, if you throwing this up, and you got all I'm gonna say, if you throwing this up, and you got niggas on the other side of town thinking that the whole Southwest is weak because of some questionable shit you doing on whatever level. And we have to check that, because when I go out and I do this, that's when niggas gonna look at me and think I'm one of y'all. Well, you pussy ass niggas. And then we gotta fight over some shit that ain't even real. We not, you know what the fuck I'm saying. And that goes back to what I was saying about when you do generalize it with black people in general. That's why people from the conscious community, or like niggas like me and Bobby and shit, that's why we be so critical of what you do in front of that camera, because we understand that subconsciously, if not, consciously, everybody is different and not the same. But on a subconscious level, your subconscious see that as everybody's the fuck. So you see one nigga doing some weird shit, subconsciously, or if they give you enough images of black men being feminized, subconsciously you'll start to feel like all niggas are gay or effeminate or whatever. And even though consciously you might not act in that vein, you'll start doing subconscious shit, or it'll be subconscious. You'll start doing shit without even knowing it. That'll make a nigga say, "Hold up, bro, you tripping? I ain't gay." You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like I said, the girls start saying, "Oh, all these niggas gay. That's why they keep going back to jail." I was like, "No, niggas keep going back to jail because they doing shit to go to jail, commercial crimes and shit or whatever. For the most part." You got motherfuckers that actually think that they going back to jail so they can go live their gay life. It's like, no, niggas can live a better gay life out here to be free and gay. What the fuck are they gonna go back to jail for? You see how stupid we think? I've seen this come out of bitches type this on Facebook. At the time when it was really going hard with the infeminization of the black man shit. That's how I knew that shit Bobby was saying about the subconscious mind and them, the Danny Glover shit, how the woman slapped Danny Glover for whatever he did on Purple Rain, or Color Purple, because her mind couldn't, due to the fact that she was in her subconscious mind, her conscious mind couldn't differentiate. So when she seen Danny Glover, she was like, "You beat Oprah," or whoever the fuck he beat on this shit. I've never seen the movie before. They say that according to Bobby, they slapped the nigga based off the shit he did on the movie, because for some reason her mind couldn't differentiate one of the other or whatever. And I think we all experienced that to one degree or another. Because I was fucking with somebody, who was that? What was that? It was something. That I was joking, but it's some people that seriously look at it. But it was somebody, what that was. There was some movie where a nigga beat, I can't remember, it'll probably come back to me later. But it was some movie where some nigga beat a girl up for some shit. And I can't even remember whoever the girl was that played it. I like, when I say I like, I don't mean like sexually but it was like somebody that that's highly loved. I can't remember. I can't even remember the name. Probably we're better than we anyway, but I remember I was on Instagram one day and I was fucking with him. I was like, "Yeah, nigga, we still mad at you for what you did to woo. But I was joking, but some people actually see this shit like that. Or that's how some niggas get pigeonholed because they'll play a role and subconsciously the role. That's what I was going to say. Like like the guy that played Joe Jackson in Mike movie, right? My advice to him would be the next role he played, that nigga need to be the nicest to get that stigma off of him. I'm telling you, because look, when I was at the movie, when that nigga started spanking Mike, you would have thought that shit was like real. Because when that nigga grabbed it, for one, this is how you know the nigga Mike a powerful nigga. For one, consciously, we know that little guy is not Michael Jackson, and that dude is not Joe Jackson or whatnot. But even if you don't even, some kids this era might not even know how Joe Jackson looked. But you know goddamn well that ain't Michael Jackson, right? When that nigga grabbed Mike and started whooping, niggas, oh, that's all you heard was that's all you heard, nigga, the theater went up. When there be the people in the, because I caught like the 6 o'clock show. The people didn't really start. When I was coming out, that's when the heavy, everybody was getting out work and all that shit. I'm trying to catch the matinee shit, the cheap shit or whatever. The album, pocket all light and shit. So, but I really wanted to go to the 7 and 8 o'clock show and shit where everybody was in the motherfucker or whatever. But I just trying to light pocket problems. But maybe niggas sent some cash apps when I asked them that one time. I probably would have been able to, But niggas know when to mind it. Niggas, when you want niggas to mind their business, boy, unless you already, for some reason, niggas like to give money to people that already got money. But you want motherfuckers to mind their business. Niggas shit and giggle and make all kind of subtle references and shoot slugs at you. And when you put that cash app up, niggas mind it quick. I got my business. Yeah, I don't see that shit. At least with me. I wouldn't dare ask them up with somebody if I wasn't I don't even like asking them up over the period, really, because I know how niggas is. But damn sure wouldn't ask them up over some shit if I just was in a dire straits. But when that nigga grabbed Mike, there was one nigga in that bitch, that nigga jumped up and like, hold up, nigga. Like, I can't remember what he said, but that nigga got up like, hold up, man. But everybody in the theater was like, whoa, hold the fuck up, that kind of shit. If I was that nigga, bro, I would play the next role, no villains. Don't play another villain. You may want to take about 2 or 3 in between roles before you do another villain role. That one right there was like, damn. Even me, shit, and I know better shit. I've been seeing that nigga. In the grocery store behind this nigga, he turned around, that guy, I can't remember his name. Nigga, you whooped Mike. Oh, that was a movie. Don't touch me, nigga. No. Even me, I don't like you. It was a movie, I know. I'm not over it yet, though. I don't like you. That's a joke. I understand different. But I'm saying I can see how that motherfuckers who are not strong-minded can be fucked up enough to not be able to. You would think, oh man, ain't nobody that goddamn naive. I believe the story about the woman slapping Danny Glover. You might find it hard to believe. I think I've seen some worse shit than that. Yeah. But I was saying that to say, that's why you might play a role. If when you as an actor, you have to really be conscious of the role you play, because you might play a role where you that's where I think good acting can go wrong for you. Where you might be so good at a villain to the point to where I give you an example. I can't remember this bright guy's name, but he played it. what that nigga was. Deep cover. Every time you see this nigga though, the only thing, so much stuff I see this nigga in real life, I wouldn't trust him. Like, that nigga still, yeah. I know this nigga name, man. I'm doing jokes, like I'm saying, but you have to be careful. I can't remember. You know, I ain't got. And as a matter of fact, young kids might not know, but I'm quite sure. Well, I already said one movie he played it, but I didn't. Without even saying that movie. All I have to say is there's this one bright nigga that was doing it. He's still around too, but in the '90s, man, this nigga every role this nigga play, he's a whole ass nigga, bro. Like so much so that where I couldn't even see this nigga playing a hero, a real nigga, to supporting cast of a real nigga. It just wouldn't even. He didn't play so many whole ass nigga roles, and he might be the illest nigga in the world. Really, he might be a blunt smoking. That nigga might be from fucking Brooklyn, USA, and grew up with the thug niggas. This nigga was, they didn't put this nigga, if I had to say, if there was a fault with the nigga, or if I was to sit down with the nigga, I would have to say that he would say, well, name something you don't like about me. I don't know you, so I can't say I don't like you, but I will say this much. I don't like the fact you let these people cast you as a whole ass nigga in every fucking role. You have to have some kind of thing where you say, hold up, man, look, man, I done did 4 roles when I was the villain and a fucked up nigga. I'm not taking that role no more. That's probably why I always end up on it, because now you didn't put yourself, you didn't play that role so many times, they can't even stay like, they can't even fathom you as something else. So, you might even go to audition to be a good nigga in a movie. And they be like, oh, yeah, man, we like you. Yeah, I was hoping you came in here. Yeah, man, you know, I was trying to be the... No. You're going to be the guy that takes the... You're going to be the child abuser. Man, I really want to be... No. You make a good child abuser. Then, you know, yeah, but they... And it ain't even... And I understand how Hollywood... I'm not in the entertainment industry, but I got enough know-it-all, wherewithal to know how these people think when it comes to shit like that. So much so that... Because even if I was to get a job right now casting motherfuckers and shit, even I would be, you know, on a deep level, you know, even I, if I had to pick a nigga came in, like, you know, you are good, because he's a good actor, don't get me wrong, but even I would have to say, oh, man, the people just not going to, they're just not going to see you, it's not going to resonate well with you being the hero, or you being the fucking, some kind of, you just have to be the nigga that people look at and say, this nigga here, oh, this whole ass nigga, you just be putting, there's no disrespect, bro. I'm hoping it serves as a lesson to up and coming actors and maybe actors that's in now. But even I would have to say it's too late, bro. You are pigeonholed as you've been a whole ass nigga, not a whole ass nigga in real life, but they always cast him as that nigga that make you say, that nigga that's a whole ass nigga, man. Why is this nigga always a whole ass nigga? You've done that so many times where even if I was in a position to cast a motherfucker, it'd be, and I wouldn't say, not necessarily saying I wouldn't. And I'm the type of nigga that say, you know what, let's see if we can reverse your image. Now, I don't know how many years you got left in acting. He ain't that old, but you know, because Ollie Davis and them went on for a minute. He'd have to really, if I had to give a nigga some type of advice, I would tell that nigga, never be a whole ass nigga again. You've done that thoroughly for 10, 20, 30 years. You need to just ride your sunset on out as the fucking cookie baker and shit. You know, sitting there with your grandma knitting. You need to play some real unaggressive ass nice guy roles. You know, the fucking, you know, the crossing guard and shit. You need to be the fucking driving Miss Daisy Part 5 or some shit. You don't need to be the fucking, anything but a whole ass nigga. They're not even just a villain. He's always on the antagonist side. You got the protagonist, which is the hero, You got the antagonist, which is the speaking act, Hollywood language. Now the antagonist, that is the anti-hero, or always the fucking villain and shit or whatever. But he's not even always just the main villain. A lot of times he's the lacking and shit, the whole ass lacking nigga. Shit, I can't remember this nigga name though. But he's a light skin. I'm telling you, anybody know from the 90s, you know what the fuck I'm telling you. I bet you, I know that nigga. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I bet y'all gonna probably laugh when you see this shit. But ain't no disrespect to him. I don't know, he probably laughing, But at the end of the day, man, at least he made his fucking bread. He I'm just speaking with the context of the business and shit. But, no disrespect into this is my opinion. So, I don't get too much. I don't even I'm mad, not him, Hollywood. Like, goddamn, y'all couldn't get a man, something else. Like, come on, man. They just pigeonhole this nigga, cast typed into this shit. You couldn't make the nigga at least a fucking, what? I don't know, shit. Fucking, at least make let nigga be the voiceover of a good character in a cartoon or something. A cartoon movie. Something, man. This nigga was just always a whole ass nigga, bro. So much so that way you just, I don't know if I'm the only one. I know I ain't the only one to say that, see this shit. But so much so, you just be like, every time you see this nigga, you just, so that's what it is. Like, even if you watching the movie that you ain't never seen before, when you don't know he in it, when that nigga come on the scene, when this nigga come on the scene, bro, you know if some whole ass shit. That's how fucked up it is. So, you watching the movie and shit, you get popcorn, this shit good. And you don't even know what's gonna happen, what the next scene about, or this new scene is about. You see this nigga, yes, whole ass shit gonna happen. It's like his presence is to the movie when when they play the music with some dramatic shit gonna happen. Or like on a scary movie, the movies when they play some type of song, movie or music that let you know it's gonna get intense. They only gotta play the music with this nigga. You see this nigga, some whole ass shit finna happen. You don't know what it is, but you might be with your kids and shit. I ain't seen this movie before, Junior, but he's finna do some whole ass shit. Well, Dad. Trust me. 5 minutes later, let me get up. I'll be back, man. This shit every time. Don't be that. Tell them niggas give you something else, baby. So I'll be back, man.